Welcome to my channel, degenerates, all 6 of you. Today, we're going to take a disturbing trip to the land of professional complacency and potential criminal negligence. We're going to be discussing the most popular tattoo machine on the market, why it's not safe, and why it shouldn't be used in its current form. At the end of the video, we're going to compare it to its Chinese contemporary, knockoff rather, which is a better alternative.
Our humanity. Our humanity.
To understand the situation clearly, let's briefly explore a great product they produced before deciding to go full-on retard. The Dark Lab Ergo Grip. You see, this grip was a revolutionary design. There was nothing like it on the market. An adjustable cartridge grip that could be used on any machine, which meant you could use the grip on your Cheyenne machine, on your injector, Dragonfly from ink machines, on your mom. The only real competition at the time was the Cheyenne grips. You see, they had the exact same function, but the FK irons was superior for one huge but very simple reason. It was safer for the client. You could fully take it apart and sanitize it properly. Unlike the Cheyenne grips, it was simply the safest thing on the market for your client. So of course I bought one immediately. I wanted a pen machine myself, but the only proper pen machine at the time was the Cheyenne pen. But with a huge problem. You couldn't open it and sanitize it. So I never bothered with it. So hearing the Spectra's irons dropping from FK Irons, I was excited. I was fucking thrilled. Because they would obviously design it with the same professionalism and safety in mind as the Ergo Dark Lab grip. Right? Wrong! See, the Spectra's Iron tattoo machine is actually a closed system with no convenient and practical way of actually opening it and cleaning it from the inside. So the drive bar and its surroundings. You know, the thing that's actually pushing your needle. Now understand the Spectra's Iron is a over-engineered nightmare with no real way of designing the machine in a way that you could actually easily access all the interior parts. So I get it was probably really hard to design it with a cleaning feature in mind, as if that's not common sense. But of course, common sense is not that common, but it comes in all these nice colors. These aren't mine, by the way. No one uses them anyway, because they keep breaking. It's not a direct drive, which is why it breaks all the time. You see, the more parts you have, the more parts need oiling, servicing, replacing. The more shit can break, essentially. So if that's the case, why is it on the market? Why, we all know why it's on the market, don't we? So this horrific dildo-shaped petri dish was certainly not an option. But it comes in all these nice colors. But shortly after, they announced a new machine, a direct drive wireless pen machine. That machine doesn't have the engineering difficulties. It will make it significantly easier to design the machine in a way so the user of the machine could take it apart conveniently and practically, but that wasn't the case. FK Irons didn't give a fuck, so they actually made another enclosed system with no proper way of cleaning or accessing the interiors of the machine to ensure client safety. We need to rewind back to the Ergo grip to see exactly and precisely what I'm talking about. Look, the video could end here. So for those who got the point, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. But I've got a funny feeling there's an overwhelming majority of smooth-brained individuals who just refuse to accept the reality of the situation. For those who are currently engaged in a heroic battle between cognitive dissonance and common sense, let's expand a little bit further. Like I've said 10 times before, this grip can be broken down into its individual pieces and sanitized thoroughly. This has to be done every day after a session. You see, client safety should be the #1 priority of every tattooist. But do not take it from me. Take it from the man himself, Mr. FK Irons over there.
Made in China.
Sorry, wrong clip.
Now you can properly sterilize that grip. In fact, you should care about sterilization and safety. If not, you shouldn't be tattooing. So,
you see, when you disassemble this grip, you can chemically disinfect it, you can run it through an autoclave, you can shove it up your mouth, and you can access the other side of the machine, what they call a drive bar, this bit here. The FK Irons Flux, however, or the Flux Max we've got here, you cannot clean, nor disinfect, let alone sterilize. People just keep cleaning and disinfecting the exterior parts of the machine, which of course has to always be cleaned as well, completely neglecting the interior parts. Everyone's just neatly wrapping the exterior shell. They put all sorts of fancy grip tapes around, plastic bags, little finger condoms, whatever the Mr. FK Irons recommended.
this guy's right here. They're like a mini condom for a tattoo machine for a finger.
Which is quite fitting actually, because that really is like never washing your dick, only changing condoms with a hole in it. You see, the whole system is inside the grip. That's only the exterior shell of the grip, you see. So if that's the case, why do you always have to disinfect and sterilize that part, but you do not have to do it with that part? Make that make sense. The equivalent of that would be if you just sanitize that part of the grip after each session. I mean, so with there being no convenient or practical way of accessing all the contaminated parts and potential dirt within the machine, it essentially renders the whole system disposable. Well, not the whole system exactly, because again, you can easily sanitize or clean the exterior shell, and you could easily sanitize and disinfect the battery. But that whole drive system, the actual machine itself, you cannot. So you could just keep buying that part and you could reuse the battery and the exterior shell of the grip. I suppose Steve Butcher could afford that, but the rest of us most certainly cannot.
You can't save when you're doing stuff like that. And I've got nothing planned for my fucking retirement. So
now I'm careful to use terms such as there's no convenient way, there's no practical way, because you can yank it open. But if you actually do that, that will void your warranty.
The contract's are voided? Holy shit!
Now, why on God's green earth does my fucking warranty need to be revoked if I open up the system myself? What exactly is gonna happen? Now, I'll tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be able to replace the parts myself and you won't be able to charge me for it. I do not see any other reason why I shouldn't be allowed or able to open the machine myself without destroying the warranty, besides the revenue streams coming from the servicing itself. Although they might have spent more money servicing this ridiculous joke because it kept breaking all the time within, 12 minutes of usage. I do not see it. If someone sees it, let me know. So this reckless company is in effect asking you, or better yet, incentivizing you to not clean the most likely contaminated parts in the interior of the machine. You might be thinking, but why though? It doesn't make any sense. And you're right, they do not make sense. They make money, you see. They make a lot of money selling these machines. And then there's another stream of revenue coming from all these repairs. You see, you get charged for the services. And if any part breaks at any given moment, you can't actually access it yourself to replace it without voiding the warranty. So if anything breaks, you're obviously gonna send it off for them to fix, because the fucking thing costs £1,319 with 2 batteries. The only batteries that actually fit the system as well. Reminds me of another company that does shit like that, prioritizing visually pleasing designs, ridiculous pricing, and clever but toxic attempts of trying to corner the market instead of common sense and prioritizing safety requirements for the end user, which is Apple, of course. So that post from the owner certainly didn't come as a surprise to me. I'm actually surprised they haven't designed their own FKI special little cable, so I can pay 90 quid for that as well. Sort of like what Cheyenne did. Now, unlike a MacBook Pro, this technology is actually really simple, and may I also add ancient. It's a simple back and forth movement at different frequencies, my man. But we do e-give. Oh, do you? Do you really? It's who's using the app? Stop it with the apps. Who uses apps to use a fucking tattoo machine? I do kind of agree with the dinosaurs here in the tattooing space. We do not need apps. No one needs apps. It's a simple back and forth movement at different frequencies. It's ancient, simple technology. No one needs a fucking FKI's app. Why would I give my data, tracking data, to fucking FKIs to use a fucking tattoo machine? No one needs to give their fucking data to FKIs. I mean, come on, Christ almighty. Now, tattooists aren't exactly the most capable individuals, but I think they can handle a simple service like that. Or do we need special FKIs engineers to open and clean this HIV device and apply some grease? Get out. And what about if I want to change my 2.5mm stroke to a 3.5? Do I really need to purchase a whole new system? Stop. Anyway, they recommend servicing once a year. Once a year? Really? Imagine sending off your grip only once a year to FKIans to clean and service that part. because that part, of course, you can clean yourself. Your tattoo equipment obviously has got to be cleaned every day, but don't take it from me. Take it from Mr. FK Irons again.
China dish.
Oh, for f***'s sake.
But you have to sterilize the grip after every single tattoo.
I'm kind of repeating myself here, obviously, but I feel like a lot of you need it. When I deliver these true but uncomfortable facts to people that use the actual system, there's a few interesting justifications. But that's all they are, justifications. You see, many of these individuals suffer from a breathtaking case of cognitive dissonance, or in other words, pain-avoiding delusion. They live in a should-be-fine world, but that's not good enough. You see, they spend £1,300 minimum, so they can't be wrong. Surely not. After all, this is professional equipment, right? Well, actually, I don't think so. Professional equipment is safe. A common justification and also evidence that we're dealing with a smooth-brained individual is typically this: but I only use membrane cartridges. Now, it's good practice to use membrane cartridges, of course. It will prevent a lot of the damage, but you also rest your contaminated cartridge on the contaminated surface of your station. You then use your contaminated gloves and pick it up, and then you shove it into your now freshly contaminated machine, which you can't clean. And also, do you ever do that to inspect your needles? Do you? Really, you never do that. You see, I inspect my needles a lot like that because a lot of times things get stuck on the needle. You never do that with your needles. Sure. Now, on average, I'll use between 4 and 6 needles for any given piece, sometimes more, but never less. Now, to keep numbers simple, let's say you switch between them 10 times per session, just 10. And let's say you do 120 tattoos a year. You do the math, how many times did you repeat the same cycle? In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Take the needle out, you put it on the station, you take another needle back into the machine, you take that needle out, you put that one on the station, you inspect that one potentially, you shove it back in. So after a year of that, you're gonna send it back to FKIs? You might as well send that to a forensics lab, mate. I hear there's a good one in Wuhan. How many times per year is that repetition gonna happen? Do the math yourself, mate. Other reasons or justifications or why people keep using it aren't really worthy of debate. Now, I did expand on the membrane one for you guys that have been dropped as children, so now, of course, you can't be wrong. Look, regardless of what story you tell yourself, if you have 2 of these and one allowed you to open it and one did not allow you to open it, which one would you choose and which one would be safer? It's really that simple. Come on now, bro. I get the chances of giving someone something with it are very slim, but I would rather have the chances being 0. Anyway, what's the point of that video? I didn't make that video for the dinosaurs in the industry. With a dinosaur, I mean someone stuck in their way, someone refusing taking responsibility or learning. They keep dropping bars like, I've been tattooing in prison for 10 years with a guitar string, no one got infected, nothing will go right. You're not in prison though, are you? You're a professional, right? Come on, bro, grow up. So I've lost all hope for these particular individuals in our industry. I'm hoping that a couple of new cats breaking into the industry will understand what I'm talking about and hopefully do better. Because the industry leaders, companies like FK Irons, Cheyenne, Bishop, Ink Machines, they certainly didn't. They actually went back in time. So they used to produce safe machines, safer for the end user. But now they prioritize ergonomics or, visually pleasing little dildos instead of, machines that are actually safe for the client. Now they're producing this garbage. But the garbage is wireless, so it appears like we went forward. And also you have apps. If only there was a cleaning app. This begs the question, are they stupid or evil? I think they're just stupid. They're just reckless and dumb. And I do think that is criminal negligence. And listen, I'm certainly not calling for more government regulation. I believe in the free market. But I'm painfully aware that to have a free market, you need one of 2 things. You're going to need a responsible and educated public that is capable of critical thinking, or responsible and capable business leaders that aim to improve each aspect of the respective industries. Business and industry leaders that have the capacity of receiving that critical thought and apply it. In fact, they should be welcoming it and then use this criticism to then execute better products and services. We have none of these two things. We do not have responsible leaders. We do not have responsible artists. Well, that's what you're gonna get then. You're gonna get a Spectra Cyan and you're gonna get a Spectra Flux or EXO, which is the exact same thing with a different grip and an extra charge for an adapter. This video could take 2 minutes, but I'm here trying to practice some videography or whatever you want to call this. I think that's all for now. I think even the smooth brains got it by now. And if you didn't get it, pull out your iPhone 7, hop in the comment section and hit us with your excuse. Hit us with your justification. Give us that I use it every day and nothing happened. You're a clown, mate. That must be enough, surely. I mean, are we done here? Well, not really. There's a lot more to unpack here, but the video got quite long, really, to be honest. And I promise I'm going to compare both the machines, the Chinese knockoff with the original FK irons. We'll do that next, compare them properly side by side. Oh man, it's New Year's Eve as well and I got sick. So now, I have to stay inside for my own safety. I'm just gonna leave you with this. Besides the machine just being a vibrating petri dish, it's a bad build quality. It's dangerous for the client. From where I'm sitting, it's, you shouldn't be using it, really. It doesn't really matter how much you like working with it if it's dangerous for the client, so I'm just gonna leave it there. But the build quality is actually so bad, it does deserve its own video. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, we're done here. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Released hours. Are stupid and reckless. Reckless. You need an however. Because people were sending. I can't. Without exterior shell of this which is he wrote it.